Yo, 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 yo. Oh, I gotta mute myself. Hold up. Alright. What is up? What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Good evening. Good evening, starlings. How are we feeling tonight? We got a spicy one picked out for you. We are gonna go into Path of the Abyss tonight, which is a new JRPG dungeon crawler. When I saw it on the Steam page today, it had literally one sorry, train of thought is completely lost. It had one review, one written review, and like 5 positive, like non-written reviews. So I'm hoping this is the indie gem we've all been missing and waiting for. However, before we get into the real spice of it, we have something to do. If you don't know, the Steam Winter Sale started today, and with the Steam Winter Sale comes the one whole lot of sales. I think I want to make a like Twitter post short about, and like short TikTok or shorts or whatever, about kind of what I'm gonna be getting, because I think there's a lot of really good games this year, and it would be a shame not to capitalize on this. But the other more important thing for us today is the 2023 Steam Awards are out. It's only like 11 categories, so I did not want to make a whole thing of it. But with that in mind, before we dive into Path into the Abyss, Path of the Abyss, we are going to quickly talk through the Steam Awards and cast our votes. And hopefully I can be a good and or bad influence on you to do so. So, we swap over. Just wanna set chat to disappear really quickly because I do not want stream elements here the whole time. Let's do. Oh, there it goes. It took a while, but it got there. Alright, we're set at 10 seconds now. Hopefully that'll be better. So let's hold up. Should be good. Scale you down a little bit, chat, so I can get a clear view of the games. 2023 Steam Awards, vote now. You've chosen nominees, now we need your help in choosing the winners. I'll be honest, I never pay attention to this. I did not vote my nominees, but I definitely have some clear favorites going into this year. Cast the final votes to choose this year's winners and unlock special stickers along the way. Voting ends January 2nd, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you're a VOD watcher, you've got time to cast your vote in on what's going on. First one is Game of the Year. Let's save that for last. Let's work our way down. Or I guess work our way up. So, the last, aka first, award, sit backs and relax. Antidote to a busy day, smooth, relaxing, zen moment, certified zen moment. Our options are Potion Craft, which I think I've played 2 or 3 hours of, stealing off someone's library. Gather reagents, mix and smash them all together, and serve to customers. Do some bartering. It was fun. It was a good 2 or 3 hours sink in. Sit backs and relax is not really my sort of genre. I think the only one I've ever put a lot of hours into is Stardew Valley, but obviously that's a bit old to be repping all this. So the next option is Coral Island, which I'll be honest, I have no idea, but it looks like a farming sim, like 3D farming sim, which is fine. Train sim world. This shit cannot be relaxing. There is no way. I feel like this, like if it's even close to a realistic train sim, that has to be so stressful. You just walk in and you're just surrounded by like a panel of stuff. Hold on. Okay, yeah, thanks, man. No, not videos. I wonder if they have a video of like the cockpit of a train. No, they don't. Dude, look how much there is for this. Why do train sims? What is it with train sims and their fascination with having thousands of dollars of DLC? Who is buying these? Whatever. My point is, being on a train, I've not played the game, and being on a train cannot be relaxing. Well, being on a train, conducting a train cannot be relaxing. Dave the Diver is probably the shoe-in for this, because City Skylines 2 is basically a worse optimized version of the first one. They did it again, but did it worse. So that doesn't seem super compelling. I have not played Dave the Diver, admittedly. I think I've been a bit out of this niche of game for a few years. But, I mean, for me, it's got my vote. I've seen people play it. It looks like a good time. Next one up, Outstanding Story-Rich Game Award. Narrative-heavy game will hit the spot, and this one packs a wallop. Soap opera, prestige TV screenplay, making us feel things. I mean, all of these games, besides, okay, we'll go through one by one. Jedi Survivor, I don't like Star Wars. I don't know anything about this game, but I don't like Star Wars, so it's not getting my vote. That's just the fact of the matter. Get into the next one. Austin says, based the people yearn for diving. I mean, he's right. Of these options, I've only played Potioncraft, but I still know like Dave the Diver is the better chill game. I mean, it blew up for like a week or two it came out. It was crazy. So we're saying no on Jedi Survivor. Baldur's Gate 3 is like, this might be a bit spoilers of what's to come, but it's probably like game of the year, but like game of like the decade. I am a massive tabletop RPG fan. People yearn for Asian dating sims. That's true, they do. I mean, that's the thing, right? You gotta know your market. Baldur's Gate 3 is perfect for me. You know, it's perfect for the D&D nerd in me who's been playing it for, God, like 6 years or something now. And it really delivers on it and more. I mean, this is the heavy hitter. This is what clowns on other AAA games. Resident Evil 4 is pretty good. I don't know if I'd consider Resident Evil like a super narrative focused game though. Are you getting into Resident Evil for the story? I thought we were just getting into Resident Evil 4 because Leon and Ada are both like hot. I thought that's like what we all agreed was like the main reason we're playing these games. Like the horror is fine. It's got a bit of that old horror puzzle games aspect, which I hate, which is you go into one room, get scared, find a key that you have to backtrack to go find another, and back and forth. I am personally not a fan of this. Horror games in general, but the backtracking that is adjacent with all the old Silent Hill and Resident Evil games. RE4 has no story, but fun as hell. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got. It's a good action time, but it is not like, you're not in it for the plot. Gamers in chat, speaking of D&D, did you see what they did to my boy JoeCat? I did. So I saw his tweet about it. For those of you who don't know, JoeCat, very popular animator for like D&D shorter form content. Crap Guide to D&D, if you've ever seen any of those. He's the creator of that. And he kind of moved away from that and was doing other stuff. I think like the I Like Girls is what it's called, like a music video. If you haven't seen it, we can pull it up for you pretty quickly. And you can see, ignore my horrible YouTube recommended, get a good idea for what I watch. I'm not gonna play a lot of it, but if you've heard it, you know it.
The girls I like, I like big girls, pretty kitty girls.
Yeah. I don't want to get struck down by the YouTube almighties. Oh, hello, OBS. Oopsie. Sorry. OBS jump scared me and I lost my train of thought. Effectively, he's a very big trans rights activist and got basically bullied off of Twitter for sticking up for people's rights, and he's giving up content creation because he does not want to have to deal with the criticism to like everything he does, which is valid. I'll be honest, I have not kept up with him since he stopped covering the D&D stuff, but it is sad to see someone who's a very, very talented creator just get like bullied off the platform for honestly not doing anything, probably being one of the more wholesome people in like the entire like D&D and like that Twitter sphere community. That all to say, D&D, big part of my life. Baldur's Gate 3 hits that. Love is All Around is actually also a game I played. The Baldur's Gate 3 and Love is All Around being the only two games I've actually played on this list, is basically a harem Chinese dating sim. Like, that is the extent of it. It's like 6 hours. It's pretty funny, honestly. And there's some genuinely good like twists in the ending that like actually like shocked me and were really interesting. There is interesting like actual like characters in it and stuff, but at the end of the day, it is a dating sim with like 5 Chinese women. It's not going to win story rich game compared to a like 150-hour RPG. And then Lies of P, I'm sure we'll get into it. I'm sure it will come up again. If it doesn't, then oops. But I think Lies of P is okay for a Dark Souls-like game. However, as someone who's honestly not a fan of the gameplay loop of the original Dark Souls, Lies of P does nothing for me, and I just don't like the aesthetic. I'm someone who likes the dark, gothic aesthetic, but I think Lies of P's aesthetic is not that good. So Lies of P was a miss for me in a lot of ways. So for this one, that's pretty much a Baldur's Gate sweep. Last of Us, this is soundtracks. Okay, I don't have much to say. If we're going off soundtracks, I'm gonna kind of go quickly through this one, because the only ones I've heard are P5, Persona 5 Tactica, and Pizza Tower. Persona 5 Royal has some of like the best any video like Japanese game music, like period. Well, I do not think Tactica delivers on that as much. I've only heard a few songs and they're good, but I don't know. I think a lot of the joy I got from the Persona music was the context of it. God damn, OBS, quit jump scaring me. A lot of the why does it do that? Why does it keep throwing you over to this side? Hold on. Apologies. I will get my OBS under control shortly. Just kidding, I can't. We're just gonna reopen Steam in the meantime and ignore it. Welcome to the Inception. Yeah, OBS. Classic novelty, get it? Let me have a congruent thought and then we'll get back to fixing that. Yeah. a lot of the value in Persona 5's remix was in when you were actually doing it and playing through the game, like the super hype bosses and stuff. It really delivers on. I do not think it delivers in Tactica, especially as I haven't played it. Like, the music just doesn't stand on its own. Pizza Tower is actually the perfect like stream background track. That shit goes crazy. Pizza Tower is such a hectic game, and like going completely berserk while like this funky music is playing. It's got one of the things I like a lot in games, which is like the music scales based on how good you're doing. So it's a platformer that gives you rankings based on like how crazy you're going. The higher your ranking, the more like instruments kick in and the music kicks up. It's such a I love the integration of like music with like performance in games, and Pizza Tower does it so well. And all the tracks on their own are like perfect like stream background stuff. So for me it's an easy best soundtrack here. Best game you suck at. God. Lords of the Fallen, I genuinely don't know what this is. Sifu, I also don't know what this is. I'm not giving FIFA any rewards. This, you can enjoy or dislike sports games, but this has been one of the most poorly mismanaged ones of all time, and the monetization is so predatory. Overwatch 2 is a dead game that has been killed by Blizzard. They've managed to kill a really good and interesting idea for a game that was super popular in release. They managed to kill it twice, so they are not getting a reward from me. Also, I didn't even forgot this was even on Steam. And then Street Fighter is just a good game. I mean, it's a good, 2D fighting game. It's got a lot of popularity, a lot of hype. The characters are good, and I definitely suck at fighting games, so that one's got my vote. Innovative gameplay. Oh, seeing this hurts. Seeing this get nominated for innovative gameplay is an actual tragedy. If you are curious as to why that is, there is a Nakey Jakey video on it that will do me a lot better favors than me rambling. Effectively, this is just Fallout 3, but with a new textures on it. Your only move is hustle is like a... Oh god, I don't even know how to describe it. A fighting game where you like pre-plan out your turns like frame by frame. It's super sick, definitely innovative. I've not played it, but real recognize real. That's a really good, interesting concept, and seems to deliver on it. Remnant 2 is Dark Souls with guns, effectively. I do not know if I'd consider this innovative. Hold on. Front line of creative experimentation, fresh perspective, brain-breaking surprises, delighted, inspired, and entertained with newness never played before. I'll be honest. I'm not seeing that in I'm not seeing that in Remnant. It's fine. But I mean, like, it's the second of a game. God, OBS, how do you keep coming back? I can't minimize it. Where's my minimize? Whatever. Unironically, Shadows of Doubt, AI-based detective game. I was just gonna say, Contraband Police doesn't excite me. I've seen gameplay of it. This looks bad. I think this game looks bad. However, Shadows of Doubt I have been looking at. It does look interesting. It is, effectively this very voxel. It reminds me of Cloudpunk in a lot of ways. It's like a detective game. I believe, like you said, it's AI. So like, when you talk to people, everything is like simulated, which is super cool. Yeah, everything is fully simulated, full freedom. I do think this would clear for me an innovation compared to the like frame-by-frame fighting game. Yeah, I would agree Shadows of Doubt is the most innovative of these games. Outstanding visual style is crazy, because just going through these, I've not played any of these. This I don't like. I did not like how Darkest Dungeon 2 looks, honestly. It is... yeah. It just, I don't know. It loses a lot of its charm with like the weird 3D rendering and stuff compared to the first one, which I would say has a really good design. But I mean, Darkest Dungeon, the first one came out like a decade ago. It's not, it shouldn't win this year's visual award style. High on Life, I do not want to interact with this sort of content. The Rick and Morty humor is long lost on me, and yeah, I don't know. There's nothing striking about these visuals to me. Atomic Heart is probably the most, if you're talking pure technically, is the most graphically impressive of these games. However, yeah, it even says in here, visual style doesn't aspire to real-world graphical fidelity. It's a distinctive look and feel that suffuses an entire game. This is not a unique look. This is high graphics cell sci-fi 7. Cocoon, now this I can already tell is like a unique, more unique art style that I would like. And then Inward, this looks like menus, and I've seen one 3D rendered tree. So going off of this, Cocoon pretty much has my vote just from previews. Better with Friends, I mean, there's not much to say here. Party Animals is gang beats, but with more weapons. Looks like fun, probably not worth your $30 or whatever. Dark Tide, I did buy into I got free when I ordered my graphics card. So I was technically bought in on the hype. And it was fun. I would have played it more if there were more people willing to play it. But, I mean, the fun that you have in, like, these games does not compare to Lethal Company. Lethal Company, I know there's recency bias in this, but god, is it an all-time, like, insane Better with Friends game. This game is genuinely, this game's awesome. I really like Lethal Company. And the ability to mod it to get more than 4 people and, like, do more dumb stuff with it is great. I go Lethal here, pretty easy sweep. Best game on Steam Deck, I'm just gonna go with best game out of these. Outlast, I don't care for horror games. As a Harry Potter fan, I don't really care about Hogwarts Legacy. I played the first season of Diablo 4, and it was fine, but the gameplay loop is very repetitive and was lost on me. Dredge, god, the only one I've actually played is Diablo and Vertato. Vertato's just like a Vampire Survivors game now, which I don't know if I'd consider it the best game on this list. Like, it's fine. I use it when I need to, like, kill time, but I, like, really don't use it besides that. I think the best game on here is Dredge, even though I haven't played it. I can recognize real. Labor of Love, god, I have nothing of note to say about Rust. Open world survival should have died like 5 years ago, and it's still clinging on. If this game's still being updated, that's insane, because much like the man in the Lorax, I say let it die, let it die. Let it shrivel up and die. Red Dead, how is this Labor of Love? Wasn't this just a single player game that released like years ago? Apex, bleh. Dota, bleh. I'm a League supremacist, even though I don't really play it anymore. And then Deep Rock Galactic is still being given free updates that are genuinely good. Hate Rust, but they do be having some crazy updates. Just, god. Open world survival crafting games were such a big thing 5-10 years ago, and they should have stayed there. We've moved on. We've gone to bigger and better things. VR game? God, the only one I know is Gorilla Tag, so I'm gonna vote it because it looks really funny. Like, actually using arms to swing around and play tag as a gorilla. This looks awesome. So, I don't have VR, but if I did, this is definitely the game I would want to play. So I'm picking that one. And now we reach the top. Let's just get straight to it. We know what this is. I've talked about it already. We've talked about all these games. Lethal Company's suffering from recency bias. It's a fun, with your friends party game. But if you're talking like what is the game that's going to define this year, it's Baldur's Gate. Resident Evil's a remake. It's a good remake, but it's a remake. FIFA, LOL. Hogwarts Legacy, LOL. I feel like we've talked enough about all these games, and we are getting pretty far in without getting to the real game. So I am going to vote Baldur's Gate. The fact that FIFA is up here in these lists is crazy to me. I don't understand the sports game buy-in. Especially like, isn't this like the worst FIFA game they've made? Why were the other FIFAs like not in this? Also, gets jump scared by OBS. I need to figure out how to get this back out of, like, drag this to my other window, but it doesn't want to, so I might have to do a quick stream restart before we get to the actual gameplay, because OBS is like stuck and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm going to BRB, drop for like 2 minutes, fix OBS and come back, because I don't want to accidentally dox myself. BRB, not go anywhere.